Alrighty, good Friday afternoon. Let's get to the point of this department YouTube huddle. Hope everybody's having a good end of the third week of us being into Epic. I'm not just saying this, I am not just saying this. Loving Epic. Really loving Epic. Okay, so with that being said, we're learning from each other. Kudos again to y'all and the great job. The ATEs have left the building. The ATEs have left the building in that regards. Saba, our 4 p.m. to 4 a.m. evening tech, left a wonderful card. I'll put this in the break room. She said some very nice things. She just basically said, I feel so lucky to have worked with a great team. I appreciate all of your positive attitudes and willingness to learn. Read this, folks. Okay, read this. This is from Saba. She was with us for 2 weeks. And again, we also want to say a quick shout out to Jackie. Jackie was a great resource also. And then all of a sudden, our little mini ATEs running around the department. So anyways, and we're still learning. We're still learning. I've got a lot of good slicer dicer reports, and I'm able to extract certain reports, and it's making my job a lot easier too. Okay, enough of that here. Rapid response, keep that in mind. Rapid response, that's our... where is our plain language? I can't read this font size, right? It's part of our plain language code. What used to be a code white is now a rapid response team. And that's no different than if, folks, anybody here in radiology, if you have a patient in front of you and their demeanor has changed, they've become altered, experience a seizure, what you would consider maybe a mild contrast reaction or anything to that effect that you're concerned for the outcome. If you were to discharge a patient, let's just call it rapid response. Code rapid response. And it's better for the team to show up. We step back and let them assess the patient. And if they deem it's that they're fine, they do not have to go to the ER, or they can go back to the room, or they can be discharged as an outpatient. So be it. We have that documented. Okay. So I just wanted to share that. Rapid response, do not forget what that is for. That is for the safety of your patient, to make sure it's not going to be escalated into a more serious situation in that regards. Check your payroll, folks. Check your payroll, please. Gentle, friendly reminder. Melissa Cruz, thank you so much for going over payroll with a fine-tooth comb. Again, as a reminder, if you all have to submit on calls or miss punches, submit them in N4 to myself and or Melissa Cruz, and I will approve them, what have you. But Melissa is on point and does a great job. But every once in a while, there are a couple of glitches and that we cannot catch or don't have the capability to catch because of 30 plus odd timesheets in there. So if you can catch it prior to the cutoff date of Monday morning at 9 a.m., great, we can fix it in real time. If not, we must place a ticket in, not an Epic ticket, but we must place a My Christmas Life request to adjust those payroll hours. So check your on-call, check your PTOs. If something just doesn't look right, let us know. Tap and Go is here, folks. Tap and Go is here. All right, so some of the computers, 4 computers have been outfitted with Tap and Goes. If you tap in, just realize this, that once you register your proximity card and you tap in, it treats it as a single sign-on computer, not a shared computer. Your information can be accessed, your email information can be accessed, your PTO request, everything. Your Epic login can be accessed. So once you tap in, you take care of your Epic business or your sector business, you must tap out. Okay, tap in, tap out. All right, so if you tap in, take care of it, you just can't walk away. If you walk away, the next person coming in will be in your sign-on, your login. So you must basically tap in and then tap out. Keep that in mind, folks. The CT has one, diagnostic area has several. More to come. I will get one for MRI. I will get one for ultrasound. Ultrasound and MRI, I have not forgotten about y'all. Don't shut her down, Christina Yater. Do not shut her down because I didn't get y'all a tap and go. I'm working on getting you a tap and go. Segueing into ultrasound, we've been lucky enough to fill one of our position. Our very own Jessica Jurok has basically, we haven't seen Jessica in a while, have we? Jessica's been tucked away on the night shift, right? Night shift warriors, y'all have grown. I mean, that night shift has just grown and to 13 of y'all covering nights and including RTAs and what have you. So I'm telling you right now, night shift, we haven't forgotten about y'all. We have not. Y'all have your own group chat, your very well own community, your very well own potlucks, right? So nevertheless, that's where Jessica Jirach has been parked at. We've got Isa trained on there, moving up into. So we've been blessed to have an associate join us. More to come on April 22nd when the new ultrasound tech will join us in regards. So congratulations on that person, but we'll give a proper introduction once we get get to that orientation date, okay? So Tap and Go is here. Keep in mind these proximity badges. I mean, it's a wonderful thing to have, but you must tap in and tap out, okay? I know you get that one, Gilbert Cruz. All right, here we go. Let's see here. Password changes are coming up May 1st. Keep that in mind. Minimum 16 characters, special characters and what have you. Just change it now. Let's rip off the Band-Aid. We can do Sectra. We can do Epic. Let's do it. At my meeting this afternoon with other managers from Louisiana, Arizona, San Marcos, Santa Rosa, they were all a little eager to find out, hey, how did your Epic Live go? And I told them, I was truthful with them. There was a lot of meetings leading up to it. Get into those meetings to build those schedules, build cross Meditech over into Epic. But it's like with anything, you have your little software bugs and we fix them. I have to give a shout out to the Epic ticket team. They are just on point. You put a ticket in, they resolve those tickets in real time. I'm not kidding you, in real time. If you ever have an issue, folks, and you have something that needs to be escalated on the evening hours or even on the weekend, you can use the term hot ticket. If you use the term hot ticket, it's like the new stat, right? It needs to be addressed in real time. It cannot wait, okay? So one of the hot ticket items that they're bringing up, Gilbert Cruz again, giving you a shout out. Gilbert had a great safety catch. He had a patient's name who was phonetically pronounced a certain way but spelled differently. He checked the name band and caught that. If that patient's last name was misspelled, guess what? That patient has to have that for the duration of their stay. They cannot change it once they've registered. So Gilbert was able to carry out the chest x-ray, submit it. It got read under that patient's misspelled name, but at the discharge time, and they were able to correct it. Gilbert was able to reorder it, move the images. Thank you. No patient harm was done or came out of it, but they are working on escalating that as a hot ticket to be able to have the capability to change the patient's last name, the spelling of the last name, because we're utilizing our two identifiers, aren't we not, folks? National Patient Safety Goals. One of those National Patient Safety Goals is to utilize two identifiers. Give me your name and your date of birth and what have you. So good job on that, Gilbert Cruz. And this morning, the director, Jay No, did give you another shout out to at the Safety Huddle, stating good work on your part. You were very professional in how you came across to address that, as opposed to, just not telling anybody about it. So good job. Work core construction. What? Work core construction? Hold up, hold the phone. We're not getting new counters just yet. But the CT expansion that is going on right there, folks, come April 1st, they're going to be barricading half of the work core area where it's going to cover our communication board. It's going to cover it. We have a spare communication board. If we have to pull it out, we'll pull it out. It's going to leave OR control intact. It's going to leave our Epic tracker intact and our ED tracker intact. Those computers and printer will be accessible, but it's going to be barricaded the whole half of the work core, the whole length of it. Supplies, the cabinet's going to be disrupted, so we're going to have to move some of those supplies out. That should last about 3 to 4 days, okay? After that, they're going to barricade right outside of MRI where Mel and Cordy and Josh enter. So keep that in mind. That's going to be corded off for about 3 days, maybe 4 days. But the techs will be able to go in through the other entrance. So more to come on that. We'll give you all a heads up on that. Westcom nursing call system does not page overhead. Had an in-service on that. Get with Angela. She will be able to give you a quick, a quick, basically in-service on how that works. If you're walking by and you see a flashing light, every single bathroom, every single room has a call light. If you see it flashing, bring it to somebody's attention, folks. Please, I'm not saying we do, but if it's flashing for a reason, a patient activated the pull cord or hit the alert button to get somebody's attention. So please bring it to somebody's attention. Get on your Vocera. There you go. Where is it? Brianna has mine. There you go. So get your Vocera, get on broadcast radiology, call somebody. But Westcom Nursing Call System is up and running, folks. We can page into the rooms, but we just cannot page overhead. Thank you for bringing to my attention the for barium during being administered, that 60% versus the 96%. As long as we can select that similar type, we're going to be okay. I'm looking to get that type of easy pace, 96% weight barium added to our medications. Okay, so thank you. As a reminder, when you do a patient study and you begin the exam, then you go PAX it, then you must come back in Epic to end the exam. You cannot begin and end the exam and then PAX it, all right? Keep that in mind, okay? So remember, start the exam, PAX it, and then come back and end the exam in Epic. Thank you very much. Okay, folks, as a reminder, we have a part-time opening for a Rad Tech Diagnostics, part-time opening. Tell anybody and everybody that you know, get the word out on social media, bring it back to the top, email folks, text people, but we have an opening and it's part-time, it's with benefits, it's going to be evenings, it's going to be weekends, it's going to be nights. We'll find a spot for them, and if we can consistently create a full-time position out of it, we'll consider that also. Across the parking lot, surgical hospital has a need for a Monday through Friday 5 p.m. to midnight surgical tech because of their late cases also. Their last person leaves at 5 p.m. and they're finding that they're having to utilize them on call to come in the evening. So we did an analysis and we've added a full-time position open at surgical hospital Monday through Friday, probably about 32 hours a week, folks. But it's not every day they have late cases, correct? So on the nights that they do not have any late cases past 5, that person will report to South, okay? With the intention that if they get called in for a late case or an add-on late OR case, they will sprint right back across the parking lot and tend to that patient. So we're gonna share resources on that aspect. Keep that in mind. All righty, and that just got approved today. So, well, it's got submitted today, will be approved next week. NCC, as a reminder, folks, things are going great on NCC. Thank you, Clarissa, for taking part in that meeting here as far as the quality board meeting for NCC. They had no concerns, no issues with radiology. It was just a recommendation. As a reminder, anytime you do a chest x-ray or an abdomen or chest and abdomen, must have an RN or RT present, basically like Clarissa said, an NCC associate employee present. And we know that, and we do that. I know y'all do. So thank you on that. Log out of Epic. Okay, as a reminder, if you start a case in Epic or you access somebody's chart review in Epic, make sure you log out of Epic or log out of their chart, because if you remain logged into that patient's chart at the end of your shift, if you leave, then your incoming coworker will not be able to access that patient's chart if somebody else is in it. So keep that in mind, that once you check the labs or check previous priors, that you do X out of their chart review in that regards, as to not to lock somebody else out of it. CTQC Phantoms are going great. Thank you very much for getting back on the bike there. We're gonna put our old Toshiba Aquilian sheets back on. Clarissa has them, and we'll put those back on because we're more used to them. I was under the impression that Mark Hamilton, our RSO, wanted that new form. He didn't think we had a system already in place with a wonderful form that we're so accustomed to, so he's okay for us to go back to it. So 2 thumbs up. Thank you. Let's see here. Shout out to the rad techs who are taking on call. Currently right now, CT does not do on call. Ultrasound does not do on call. I'll be honest with you, IR does do on call. So shout out to our IRRN and rad techs covering call. But rad techs, we have a rotation going to be on call every day. Somebody is on call every day, and it's rare that we utilize that on call. So there will be an offline topic. I'll make an exclusive diagnostic rad tech topic huddle about the purpose of on call and the need for on call and some guidelines that we have gotten away from it. AJ got called in at 4:30. He got a call at 4:30 morning for a cysto case. Came in 30 minutes later, and granted the case didn't go till later, but it's going to happen. If you're on call, I know we get so accustomed not to be called in after 9 o'clock because there's no late OR cases, or we have Sarah on evening shift along with Josh to be able to knock out those cases and what have you. And as we go along and add this full-time / part-time position at Surgical and South, we're going to get more folks on or trained, okay, to be able to handle these evening cases. But rest assured, when they go down to a single staff shift after hours and you are on call, never get too comfortable. But on call is on call, okay? It could be for an OR case. It could be for, I'm getting overwhelmed in diagnostic. I need you to come in. It could be for a disaster drill, well, not a drill, but a true code yellow where it needs all hands on deck. It could be for worst case scenario. And I said I was going to have a certain discussion topic offline, and I'm going into it. But more to come on that. We'll do a separate YouTube huddle for radiology, diagnostic on call. So that way we can all kind of just attest to the fact that we are aware and it's been brought to our attention as to what on-call actually means. Because we've been fortunate not to utilize that too often. And on some cases, some of y'all do get called in a couple times during the week. I know, and especially on weekends, right? All right. So folks, that's all I have on this 16-minute YouTube huddle. Folks, have a great weekend and looking forward to our upcoming 4th week of Epic and just continue learning more. Again, you guys have ceased to amaze me. Thank you to each and every one. I'll be honest with you, at my meetings, I'm getting called out by my associates. David, how's y'all's Epic Go Live going? How are your techs doing? Like, they're doing great. We got it. We got it. So at that point, yes, we have certain issues that we've come across, certain obstacles, but we're resolving them, aren't we? That Epic team is awesome and they're on it. So charges have been a hot topic. Make sure you capture them charges, folks. All right, y'all have a good evening. Talk to y'all later.